Hello and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I am Malik. Hello.
Malik!
I had my headphones off just in case. I knew that would be insane.
I had to make up for it. Last time I didn't get to really give it my all.
That's right.
Yeah.
The COVID brain fog.
I am out of the COVID brain fog, but I now have red and black stereoscopic COVID vision. Help me. Help me.
Heck yeah, that sounds pretty cool, actually.
All right. We are live right now on twitch.tv/DKVine. However, if you are listening to this after the fact, we are not live right now. This is in fact already recorded, and you are listening to this on your usual Kongversation dispenser, be it Spotify, Apple Podcast, your other podcast player of choice, YouTube, SoundCloud, maybe just on DKVine.com. I don't know. But we are following the September 2025 Nintendo Direct. It was over an hour long, and, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I was thinking, we got ours, really. And what can we really hope for? I was sure we were going to see a cameo game. You got to get one of those in every now and again, and whatever,
Of course, yeah.
I get very much like, I don't want to be too greedy. We got the game of the summer, and we're still riding high on that. I'm still playing it, and I knew that we would probably be doing a live conversation, as is the tradition with the September Directs, or most Nintendo Directs now, if we were at least going to get a cameo game. But Malik, my God, we're eating so well right now, and I say that as somebody who hates food.
I know, right? It's a weird thing for you to say, but yeah, it's true. It's the truth.
So, obviously the big point of discussion is not the cameo game, although we will talk about that, but it is the paid Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, adding an entire world to the game, as well as a new mode, a new type of way to play the game, a way to extend the game's life into the foreseeable future. I'm, of course, talking about the DK Island and Emerald Rush DLC. Now, Malik, we are still kind of on our spoiler embargo here on the Kongversation. However, I would say that nothing in the DLC, as shown in the trailer and screenshots and announcements, because the DLC is out right now. It was...
Yeah.
I said void dropped as opposed to shadow dropped, but yeah, it was dropped into our laps today. So it's out there already. So the way we're going to handle this on this episode is we're still not going to talk about Bananza spoilers, in the main game, right? We're not going to be talking about what happens towards the end game or anything, but we will be talking about what was seen in this DLC announcement. Now, we're not going to talk about the ins and outs of the DLC because I haven't played it yet, Malik. I haven't played it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I am probably a few days away from beating Bonanza properly. It's probably going to be this weekend, in fact, that I will beat it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of swamped right now with DK Vine workload, knocking off conversations one after one. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, but yeah, I will be beating Bonanza very, very shortly, and then I know I have this waiting for me, so it's terrific. But we will discuss what we can discuss. We any surprises to be found within the course of actual gameplay. Let's leave that for the listeners to discover, and we will then talk about it. We get more Bonanza episodes out of this too. We're just going to keep going and going and going. They're never going to stop. Just Andre is in the live stream and says, spoilers, the game doesn't end with Pauline slitting Void's throat, or vice versa, apparently. I really thought that was going to be a downer of an ending with Pauline bleeding out in Donkey Kong's arms.
That's why it's E10, not E.
So we knew Bonanza DLC was on the card thanks to the little pre-release info. People could read between the lines. They knew that there was going to be some form of paid DLC. We didn't know what form that was going to take, but it's an entire post game. I mean, it's the best kind of DLC you could hope for in that we get so much more. And it's not just here's another world. It's here's the world with all the fan service. I've been talking about in our Bonanza episodes, and I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. I've been talking about how Bonanza slow walks you towards the fan service. It doesn't go all in at first, and in fact, it mostly feels new towards the beginning, and then you start finding some of the Donkey Kong series fossils, you start getting more references, and it feels like the deeper you go in the underground world, the more it reveals itself how much this is a Donkey Kong game. Not just in the title character, not just in the title itself, but in true, genuine spirit. And this makes sense to me as the post-game epilogue, returning to Donkey Kong Island. Donkey Kong showing Pauline where he's from. They bonded. They went through this amazing adventure together. Their throats were not slit. And now it's like, okay, Pauline, let's take you on a vacation, spend some time on DK Island, meet the family, for real, and you can become an honorary Kong. I love this. I love this so much.
It's so good, and it's like I feel like a lot of the Bonanza worlds also have like a color scheme where it's like, oh, this place is all blue, it's all red, but I was looking for somewhere that would be all green, and I think we got it here, and it feels so good.
So Donkey Kong Island, we already knew. We already knew thanks to the Warp Gong teleport menu, because we saw before release, hey, Donkey Kong Island is actually sneaked in there on the right hand side. If you look, you have to like scroll down a bit, you have to get it just right to see it, and then you have to like enhance, but there was the unmistakable silhouette of Donkey Kong Island, complete with the Kong face on it. And
so good.
So good. We knew this was coming, or at least we knew this was the intention, that the new Donkey Kong team or teams at EPD, the new brand managers of the series, they were restoring that iconic element to DK Island. We saw it in King K. Rool's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Final Smash, but given that was a direct homage to DK64, there were still some questions. Are they actually going to restore it? It has been restored. It's there. And in fact, talking about homages to DK64, I would say this whole world is more or less a direct homage to the overworld of that game.
I think so too, yeah.
I mean, you even have Grant Kirkhope's DK Isles theme remixed here. I mean, talk about trailer blindness, because I can't process things when I'm seeing trailers. It was trailers for something I'm really invested in, like Donkey Kong DLC. And so I didn't even recognize at first what I was hearing. It was just like, I knew as soon as it started what it was, and then my brain shut down. But once I went back and watched it a second time, get a little emotional.
Yeah, I didn't even hear it the first time because I was still like, it took me until I saw like the gang playing Galleon in there, and I was like, oh, it's Donkey Kong again. No, I honestly didn't see it coming. Like I must have seen like in-game purchases on like the ESRB rating or whatever, but I did not think about the paid DLC coming anytime soon. So this was a genuine surprise to me.
Yeah, I thought this could be a possibility, but I not being finished with Bonanza, I didn't know. Like maybe this was already in the post game of Bonanza, and I kept that clocked in my possibilities when everybody was like, "You're gonna love the ending." And I was like, I wonder if you return to DK Island. And of course, people were bringing up Odyssey comparisons when they were trying to like kind of paste Bonanza over Odyssey one for one. Like, oh, well, in Odyssey, there's the Mushroom Kingdom, Donkey Kong Island, So I thought it could be possible in the main game. Obviously, I now know it's DLC, but that's fine. It's happening. It's here. And yeah, it is modeled after DK64's overworld. In our live stream, LCL Apin or Lapin said, I would have been bugged by the scale of the island before I realized it was modeled to DK64's island instead of the DKC1 map. Yeah, I mean, I think you just kind of have to accept the same conventions that we accepted with DK64, that this isn't naturally like reflective of genuine scale. It's kind of fudged, and just imagine them going on a much longer trek across this island. And, it is what it is. It is a concession because Donkey Kong Island could be an entire game if you're to actually, but if you were actually to recreate it in 3D, I don't even think, it would be Breath of the Wild sized, right? So yeah. This is a concession to get it in there. It's a tribute to the game that Bonanza really is a sequel to, DK64, the first 3D Donkey Kong game. So, I'm okay with this. It's fine. And, I've often said when it comes to Bonanza, there are things that are not going to please us 101%. We have to just kind of let some things go, because the upswing, the upshot to all the great stuff we're getting, okay, so it's like, 3% of the stuff I might take some issue with, like, creatively I wouldn't have done that. It's like, shut up.
Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's such a new golden era for DK fandom that I'm willing to overlook minor things, like the position of Donkey Kong's treehouse, which is the Returns jungle hut. I'm like, well, that doesn't line up with the island in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Shut up, Hyle. Shut up.
Yeah. We'll survive. Okay?
We'll figure that out later. Okay. Well, like it actually might line up with how it's portrayed in Mario Kart 7 / Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, given where the Golden Temple was located on the island, and so maybe this is a secondary jungle hut. I don't know. I will sort this out later. But yeah, as you mentioned, Malik, the wreckage of the Gangplank Galleon is off the coast of DK Island. Talk about things I never thought we would see again.
Yeah, and like, wait, I'm thinking about it now. Wasn't the Gangplank Galleon also? Is this the same Gangplank Galleon in DKC2? Were they one and the same now, or like again? I'll live, but I'm thinking about this.
The Gangplank Galleon was the same ship. It's K-Rool's flagship from Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Land, Donkey Kong Country 2, and Donkey Kong Land 2. It didn't appear after that, aside from remakes, but there has been the debate about whether or not Gloomy Galleon in DK64 is supposed to be the Gangplank Galleon sunk or not. And here, it is wrecked. It is wreckage. It's not intact. It's like it has fallen apart like the Titanic, but there is the rear of the ship still on the surface, on the beach of the Congo. And so I would venture to say the Gloomy Galleon is not the Gangplank Galleon. That's always been my argument, just because I wanted the Gangplank Galleon still out there. I think it's too iconic of a location, and here it is. here it is.
Yeah. In all its tattered glory.
And I mean, my God, seeing that Kremlin Jolly Roger up on the sails, that just beloved emblem of the Skull and Bones.
Good.
So good. I never, like, of course, when I say never, I did think we would see it again. I hoped we would see it again. But realistically, I was given nothing. I was given no reason to think this might ever be a possibility. Getting to scamper across the deck of the Gangplank Galleon again, complete with Kremlin Jolly Roger on the sails. I mean, my God.
Yeah,
my
so
log.
What did we do to deserve this?
we were good little fans. We kept the faith. We weren't overly hostile or ugly about our wants and desires, and we have been rewarded.
That's what I guess. Wow, so that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
It's been forever.
It was also amazing going into this Nintendo Direct. I have to say, this is the first Nintendo Direct. I mean, the first mainline Nintendo Direct, not your ancillary offshoots like the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct or whatever. This is the first one since the one in April where I really felt like the weight of the world was off me. Where I was tuning in and I didn't have anxiety. I was just completely neutral tuning into this because, you know, for the last 4 years in particular, I've gotten death threats after nearly every Nintendo Direct whenever Donkey Kong EPD wasn't shown off. And then, of course, Bananza getting revealed on April 2nd completely ended that argument about whether or not the game exists. But then the fact that Bananza is such a great game and is so pleasing for the fans that, like, going into this, I was like, I don't care. I don't care what we see. Let it be a new Fire Emblem. Let it be 3 Fire Emblem games, and I'll be fine. You know,
more
devote the first
simulators.
Yeah. Devote the first 20 minutes to Super Mario. I don't care anymore. I'm good. I'm content.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Whereas, just show me what you got. I'm good. I've already got one of my favorite games of all time. So whatever you show at me at this point is just gravy. And we did get some really good gravy, but yeah. It was nice to just go into a Nintendo Direct and not be like, where's Donkey Kong? Where's Donkey Kong?
So then to actually get all of this cool ass shit when we weren't even wanting it. I mean, of course we are wanting it. We're always wanting something, but
yeah,
it's so stark compared to how we were existing for the better part of 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm over the moon, the punched moon about this because You got the Gangplank Galleon, and as Traveler the Stars points out, it is canonically the Gangplank Galleon. I mean, it was name dropped in the press release.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, it really is the Gangplank Galleon. That's not just something that we have to make up this time. Like, I'm okay with making stuff up, but it's kind of nice when we don't have to sometimes.
To be fair, I've never made up the Gangplank Galleon. I've always been very, very stringent when it comes to Gangplank Galleon lore. I was like, no.
Yeah, there's no gloomy galleon. This wasn't the gloomy galleon. This was the Gangplank Galleon.
And when I saw it, I was hedging my bets. I was like, this could just be one of the many wrecked Kremlin galleons that we've seen over the years, or one that we've never seen before. But no, it's the Gangplank Galleon, proper noun and everything.
My goodness. You guys really, really love this monkey, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, remember Malik? Remember way back when I first started talking on the Kongversation about Nintendo's plans for Donkey Kong, and how King K. Rool in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was really just the opening salvo of the rehabilitation, the rebuilding of Donkey Kong. as a property, as a standalone entity. And then I started talking about the EPD game and how from everything we had learned about it, it was actually being developed by real, true fans of the series. And I'm not saying that other people who have worked on Donkey Kong games since the buyout have not been true fans of Donkey Kong. I'm not trying to make this another comparison, but it is just abundant, the loving references to the Rare era, the retro era. I mean, maybe even Payon. There's one screenshot that makes me wonder, is this a Xandanap reference? I'm just wild. I'm just wilding out right now, Malik. Oh, wow. And Squawks. One of the biggest questions, because Squawks has been one of the most prominent Donkey Kong characters since 2010, since Returns, since sort of the reset of the DK series. You know, we've been getting the reintroduction of characters. It's been a slow drip. And Returns famously only had 5 returning characters: Donkey, Diddy, Cranky, Rambi, and Squawks. And the absence of Squawks in Bonanza really, like, it was like, what?
It bothered the heck out of me. I was like, wait, where is he? We usually have, like, I have this theory where it's like, not theory, but this term called, like, the Returns gang. You usually see DK Diddy, Dixie Cranky, and Rambi and Squawks. Those guys are almost always a shoe-in for modern stuff. So I was like, where is Squawks? What happened to him? There he is.
Dixie was Tropical Freeze era. Dixie wasn't even in Returns, but yeah. Squawks
and
is
funky too, but
funky too, yeah. But Squawks has been such a big part of all of the DK branding since 2010, and of course has a huge role in the theme park. It has an animatronic next to Cranky. So yeah, Squawks' absence in Bonanza was kind of a little bit confusing. Like, I didn't mind it so much because Bonanza was doing so much that I don't need every box ticked off. I don't need Squawks in every DK game. It's just odd to me. It's like lacking brand synergy. But here we are. Squawks is back. Squawks has a pretty prominent role to play in the DLC. And in fact, once you download and install the DLC, which I'm waiting to do once I beat Bonanza, I kind of want the original experience first of not having that DLC, like leeching off the main game. But Squawks will apparently be inserted into a specific world once you get the DLC installed, and maybe we'll speak more to that when we get there. But it's great to see Squawks back. There's this one screenshot of Donkey Kong, Pauline, Diddy, Cranky, Dixie, and Squawks all just huddled around, and oh wow, like what a visual.
I like the little text that you added on the news article on DK Vine to that picture.
Malik, thank you for reading my articles, because I feel like too many people don't.
More people should.
It always makes me feel like a huge fraud when, like, 3 days later people will link me to a news story off of DK Vine and they're like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I reported it 3 days ago." And so, yeah, if you read the articles on DK Vine, I put funny little captions for all the images. So, it's probably why it takes me so long to get them up. I'm not very instantaneous with the articles. This one took me the better part of 45 minutes just picking out the screenshots I wanted and then coming up with little quips, little funny things.
I wish I could write an article in 45 minutes. You make it look easy.
It's the hardest thing. It's the most stressful thing in the world, especially when you have, like, more than one article to write from a direct and you have a looming podcast coming up and you're like, oh no, am I going to have time to eat the food I despise so much? But
you're doing good, kid.
So yeah, the DLC also has Emerald Rush, which is a completely new mode in the game where Void Kong also does not die, offers DK and Pauline a job with Voidco to clear and collect green emerald ore. Now, this is opposed to the Banandium-derived gold in the main game. This is emerald, and it's around Donkey Kong Island and certain layers in the underground world. And in this mode, you can unlock temporary perks and skills that will augment DK's abilities. Those reset after each run, but then you can earn new fashions. You can get statues to display on DK Island of various characters, including Ingard the Swordfish. And
wild.
Yeah. And there's other delights in there. And it's a bit weird, yeah, like going to work for Void Kong and Void Co. after all of that strife and all of that drama and the fact that
child kidnapping,
child abduction. Yeah. Yeah, like, oh yeah, let's go to work for the guy who rockified me, DK.
The guy who stoned me.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess let bygones be bygones. If Darth Vader can become a Force ghost after overseeing Alderaan, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah, this happens a lot in anime where people who were genocidal maniacs just become best friends with the main hero, and I'm like, did you just forget when he destroyed like a nice little village and now you're chilling in the same bunk bed as him?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I know the justice system is completely broken right now, but maybe Void Kong should, I don't know, do a little time?
Or die or something?
Yeah, or they slit his throat. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like the idea of the Kongs being the ones who have public executions. Like, let's all go down to the gallows and make a day of it,
We'll just do what they did in the cartoon and banish him to the mountains forever with nothing to eat.
Yeah, just wait for the next volcanic eruption. Oh yeah, the next time the Tiki Tak tribe return, you're toast.
You're done. Literally. You're literally cooked.
Oh my god, Malik, this just looks amazing. And I'm like actually excited to beat the game now. I have been dreading beating Bonanza.
I get that feeling where it's like you don't want the feeling to end. Where it's like, what happens now?
Yeah. Chocolate milk drinker and Boo XM Wow or Books Mowo in the live stream both point out the emerald is also Banandium derived. It's just unripe. That makes sense.
Ooh, I like that. Well, I don't like unripe bananas. Those suck, but I do like how this material looks. It's like, oh, this is a nice change of pace from the usual yellow.
Yeah. Yellow or the red or the slightly greenish yellow.
Yeah. Looks like soda or something almost.
Yeah. I never, again, I don't want to just keep repeating myself, but
it bears repeating.
It bears repeating, in fact.
I knew you. I baited you.
You are a masturbator, Malik. You're good at it, but I always thought that Donkey Kong, as developed by Nintendo EPD, it would do a lot of things right. I just never thought it would align with my sensibilities so much to the point where I'm like questioning whether or not like we made this game in the future, like, and time traveled backwards and posed as Nintendo EPD employees. Like, this just feels so perfect. All of this.
Uh-huh. No notes.
And I think the burden that the Donkey Kong fandom has felt like it had to carry since the buyout, really, of nobody really loves our series. Nintendo, in fact, sneers at all this stuff that was created under Rare. Nobody cares. It's up to us. We don't have any inside voices advocating for various characters and settings and the continuity even. And that's all out the window now. It's like, no, everything's fine. This is it
Just some narrative that people wanted to make you feel sad.
it really was. And of course, times also change. And as we've
That
often
too.
said, the people who grew up with Super Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong 64 and all of these games that were a part of all our culture, they were also a part of their childhood. And now they are in positions that the culture at Nintendo has changed. And we have people who they didn't see any difference between, oh, this was developed outside of the halls of Nintendo EAD. Oh, we shan't use those characters for they were not our babies. It's like, no, these are Nintendo characters. What the hell are you talking about? We're going to use these
Yeah.
characters. We're going to use these settings. We're going to celebrate this world and meticulously weave the continuity so it all makes sense. Like, this is just beyond what I had ever hoped for.
It's so lovely. I'm not sure what else I can add, but yeah, no notes. It's just everything that I could have wanted, or rather, things that I didn't even know I wanted, but they gave it to me. It's like, this is what you need. And it's like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. We will, of course, be talking quite a bit about this DLC in episodes to come. We're not quite there. We need to finish the main Bonanza story campaign first. We're making progress, though. We're making progress. The episode right before this one, we talked about sublayers 900 to 903. In the next episode, we're talking about sublayers 1000 to 1001. So, won't be long now.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get here. But it was also just delightful to see Fractones in this trailer. And,
Yeah.
Seeing all these Bonanza elements, the new original creations, be it Void Kong, be it the Fractones, even some of the just items, just seeing them with Donkey Kong Island and Squawks and Rambi's there too, of course, but just it really did make me feel like it's all this cohesive series at long last. There's no longer this bifurcation between rare era and retro era or even arcade era. It's all just kind of Donkey Kong. They found it. They found the alchemy to make it work.
Totally. Yeah, and see, I bring this up in my upcoming Bonanza review, which I have to rewrite a line because of the DLC today. But it's just I felt like in other games when they tried to reference other eras of Donkey Kong and DKC Returns or whatever, it never felt quite right to me. But Bonanza, everything feels like 100% genuine, if you know what I mean.
I do know what
in
you
Returns
mean.
and Tropical Freeze, I feel like it was because Miyamoto was staring down at them and was like, you better put a 25M reference somewhere in the game or I will slit your throat. But
Wow. Malik, I'm starting to worry that this is your go-to reference.
you said it. You kept saying it before I did. This is the first time I'm saying it on the podcast. I wanted to, but now there is audio of me saying that.
To be fair, I only said it because just Andre said it, so I think this evil is just being passed on to us like an entity. It's jumping from body to body.
Yeah. It's like one of them chain emails or whatever.
Also from the 1990s. Everything from 1995 is coming back, Malik.
Cool. Like me. I'm from 1995. I'm coming back.
I am going to be a lot more articulate in this when I do my Bonanza video review / I just beat the game. Here are my initial reaction video that's coming very, very, very soon. But I think Bonanza and this DLC really just puts an exclamation point on it as if to say, you got all the bonus areas in here. It really does show and I think prove that being into something, being a fan of something, it doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be ugly. And even when things aren't necessarily breaking your way, so if you keep the optimism, if you keep the love and appreciation for what you care about and what other fans care about, if you keep that in circulation, eventually things will work out. I remember back, in the days of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, which was the same year as Tropical Freeze, but it was just like double whammy. It was Tropical Freeze was met with a tepid response initially, and there was all that should have been Metroid backlash. And then on top of that, in the next Smash Brothers game, which was split across 2 games, we didn't really get a whole lot in the way of stuff for the DKU. And it just really felt like...
Remixes of Jungle Hijinks. Sorry.
It really just felt like we were on the outs and we were just kind of slipping into irrelevancy. And then somehow we came back from that. Not like we kept the faith, we kept the spirit, like the Smash ballot was this big galvanizing moment for the fandom, celebrating this specific character, King K. Rool. And then slowly but surely, Tropical Freeze came back out for the original Switch and was met with much better, more rapturous reception this time around. And it was actually regarded as the modern classic 2D platformer that it is. And then... we got Donkey Kong Adventure and Kingdom Battle, which new Grant Kirkhope music, DK64 references. King K. Rool got into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Then we got Banjo and Kazooie in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then the slow, steady build towards Bonanza, where so many dreams finally came true. And it's night and day from 10 years ago. I mean, not a lot in the world is better right now than it was 10 years ago. And if I have to escape into the refuge of Donkey Kong Island and the DKU to give my brain a break, I'm glad I have that option now.
Yeah, me too. Like just today I found out that my front door doesn't lock properly, and I've been sleeping for the last 6 months without proper security. But I'm still happy talking to you about Donkey Kong today. It takes my mind off things.
Malik, I'm just glad your throat hasn't been slit yet. I mean,
I know, right? I'll be the first to go.
Oh, wow. Anyway, more to come about DK Island and Emerald Rush. But it is available right now on the Nintendo eShop. Be sure to update your Bonanza games, your software, because you can then access DLC right from the main title screen of Bonanza. But it's available for $19.99 USD. And if you, for whatever reason, haven't gotten Bonanza yet, you can also get a digital bundle with the main game and the DLC for $89.99 USD.
That's like 150 something in Canadian, so that's my baby's milk money right there. But I'll live. I'll do it for Donkey Kong.
Who's your baby?
I don't have a baby.
Okay.
But if I did, that would be its milk money.
They came in through your front door at night and they took your baby.
Turned them into a rock.
Well, speaking of babies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have a new cameo game coming out next year, February 12th, actually. It is Mario Tennis Fever.
That's 2 days before most babies are conceived. I'm sorry, that was kind of naughty of me to say. It was a good joke.
It wasn't very naughty. It was more mildly
really
naughty.
It was mildly naughty.
Yeah, the Banjo Kazooie naughty. It was a comment.
I blame just Andre.
Yeah, any other time, if I wasn't just drunk off of Bonanza and the renewal of the Donkey Kong series, I would be like, ugh, here we go again. Like, even for cameo games I genuinely like Camelot's offerings, I will admit, in recent years, they have been hit or miss. In the last 10 plus years, they haven't all been completely stellar. The Mario Golf game, what was it, Power Rush?
Super Rush.
Super Rush? Yeah. I always want to say power because of power tennis, but it was okay, but I don't think it had much in the way of replayability, and it seemed undercooked in a lot of ways. And
super rushed, as you might say.
Yeah, super rushed. I did like the Mario Tennis game for the Switch. Was that Aces?
Yeah, from what I heard, it was pretty Aces.
That was good. That was good. So I think right now Mario Tennis is probably the stronger of the two. So I'm glad they're leading with it, and I hope they get golf up to the former caliber of your Toadstool tours and what have you.
Up to par, as you might say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You want to be under par.
I don't know the rules to golf.
Yeah, but I'm relatively optimistic about this. I mean, it's more of a wait and see. Here's what we know so far. Donkey Kong is in it.
That's good. And I mean, like how he looks, too.
There's a little bit more than that. Yes, Donkey Kong has his new design in the game, obviously. The third appearance in a video game of the new design. And Adult Pauline is there as well. There's going to be 38 characters at launch.
38?
Now,
wow.
I'm not necessarily optimistic that means Diddy or Dixie or whatever, because Mario Kart World also had a plethora of characters at launch, and, you know, they ended up being Cal and
the rest.
Yeah, and the rest, yeah, the ones I can't even think of right now. So I'm wondering, Malik, and I can't say for sure, and every time you think you have it figured out, they veer in another direction and surprise you. I'm wondering if there's more of a pronounced split between the DK series and these Mario multiplayer sports and racing games. Like, I still think World DLC is likely at some point, and I still think Diddy is a very, very likely character there. But I don't know. Like, I feel like now that Donkey Kong is back up and running, it almost feels like we're reverting back to the 90s status quo, the N64 era status quo for these things, where we'll use Donkey Kong in these Mario sports games, but we're not going to use much more of the extended cast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love when Diddy and them get to show up in these games because it actually makes me care a little bit more about the Mario spin-offs. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this yet, but I guess with time, we'll see.
It is a double-edged sword because on one hand, I like having a bigger divide, no Bonanza reference intended, between Donkey Kong and these Mario games. Like, when you start adding too many Donkey Kong elements to it, then it just waters down the concept of DK's own individuality and like brand identity. It just makes it feel like it's a Mario spinoff. And on the other hand, I love playing as Diddy. I love playing as Dixie. And I do care less about these games when my crew isn't there.
Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at all.
Malik, you know they did have DLC, though.
I still haven't bought it.
Okay, but you know they added Diddy and Funky with the DLC.
I know. I just got Lazy, I guess. I have it on Wii U, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that.
That almost sounds like something Funky Kong himself would do. Yeah, dude, I know I was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I don't know, man. I just smoked a bowl and then I forgot.
Yeah, man, I just kind of got stuck here on the beach. I can't think of anything better to do. Can you?
And then he like gets up, dusts himself off, and like starts 3 new businesses.
I like that. I like that. He's got his eye on the ball.
Like, I'm not speaking from any like insider information here. I don't know what they're planning, what the deal is. The hard and fast rule for Diddy in these games is you never know. There's no master plan at work here. It's almost like they have a dartboard, and sometimes the dart lands on Diddy's face, and many times it just completely misses. But we're going to have to wait and see what Mario Tennis Fever does provide in the way of DKU content. And then there's always the question of DLC, but DLC itself seems to be a hit or miss concept when it comes to Nintendo as of late.
Oh, heck yeah. That Pokemon stuff, I'm like, oh, don't you start.
I didn't even process anything that wasn't DKU in this direct. Like, I watched it, but my brain shut down. Like, I went into complete hibernation mode whenever Donkey Kong or a Virtual Boy wasn't on screen.
No, makes sense.
One of the things I like about keeping up with these Mario sports games, that's just cool from a generational standpoint, is whenever you get a new one for a new console and then they incorporate the modern day Mario stuff from the most recent mainline Mario game. That's always kind of, I don't know, it's neat to see the way they work in the new stuff in the, like, just fruit salad of the old. And in this case, Super Mario Wonder is the one that has a lot of added elements. You've got wonder effects in a new mix-it-up mode. You've got the talking flower as the commentator in tournament mode. And, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played Wonder yet, but I do like to see the stuff pop up.
I liked when Koizumi had the flower in his hand and it was speaking in English. I like to imagine that Koizumi was like, "What did this thing say?"
I'm sure they probably
English
just
speaking flower.
I'm pretty sure they probably just dubbed it for the English
Don't
version.
ruin this for me.
Okay. So anyway, it's called Fever because they introduce fever rackets. That's how they justify the game's name.
Sure, why not?
The fever rackets give you like new effects. It's just the same kind of Mario Tennis formula since Power Tennis on the GameCube. It's like we're adding Mario cartoony stuff to tennis. And in this case, I'm going to use this and it'll freeze ya or it'll make you small with a mini mushroom. Fever.
I want to see a game where they incorporate anvils if they're just gonna get cartoony with it.
I want to see a game where Bowser sneaks up behind Mario and slits his throat with his tennis racket.
I knew that's where it was going.
Yeah, I don't know. The cool thing though, the most important thing when it comes to Donkey Kong, aside from the fact that he's in this game, is that there is a story mode. And this is where Camelot has always shined, in my opinion, where they give you a mode that's not just the sport, but they give you some sort of adventure. And they did this with Aces, that, incorporating kind of something similar to the GBC Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, where it's kind of an RPG quest to become the best at that sports. And I mean, it's not quite as involved as that, but it's still a nice feature. It's a nice addition to these games. And we have a story mode in this one where go to another island and oh no, various Super Mario characters have been de-aged, and they're now babies, but not like in the way that they're normally babies in these games, like being plucked from the time stream so they can play tennis or golf. But in this case, adult Mario, adult Luigi, adult Peach, adult Wario, and adult Waluigi have been babified.
To quote Ninja Turtles 2, babies! They're babies! Oh!
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
A little too Raph. Yeah, so it's the introduction of baby Waluigi, so you know people are excited about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But here's where it's exciting, Malik. Here's where I'm like, So I don't. So this means Donkey Kong isn't playable in the adventure mode. So it feels like a Mario Party 5 scenario. But it's kind of cool because Donkey Kong hasn't been babified, and he's the adult in the room now. And he's like, oh, like this is my problem.
He looks like, oh man, I'm looking at the screenshot that you posted on Blue Sky, and he's like, oh God, what do I do?
It's also what I used for the DK Vine headline for this story. I was like, he looks so annoyed. Like, why is this my new role? Why am I in charge of kid versions of Nintendo characters now? What the hell did I do?
Uh-huh.
He did such a good job with Pauline that they're like, now handle 5 babies.
No, 13-year-old is where I draw the line when it comes to looking after Rugrats, all right? I'm not doing this.
As I also said on Blue Sky, this is where Dixie Kong does need to be in the game because she has the most babysitting experience.
That is true.
So I do like that we haven't just shoehorned baby Donkey Kong from Yoshi's Island DS into this, just because there is the question of, like, all of the Bonanza timeline hysteria pre-release from the direct to release, completely overblown, complete nonsense in retrospect. But Yoshi's Island DS did kind of throw some question marks into the alphabet soup of our precious timeline. So I'm okay if they don't revisit that so much and just kind of, not go there. But I like that Donkey Kong is kind of seen as the mature one, the one who is like a nurturing caretaker.
Yeah, I do like how he was the only one who didn't get babified. I was like, that felt right to me when I saw that.
He'll be irritated about it, but eventually he'll do the right thing. And so we'll talk about Mario Tennis Fever when it comes out next year. That'll be a big season 14 talking point here on the Kongversation. Something else.
I look forward to that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I probably won't play the game, but I'll hear you guys talk about it.
Cool. Well, I'll try to make it exciting then.
Please.
I'll be your eyes and ears, Malik, for Mario Tennis. I keep wanting to say Power Fever. It's not power. Stop saying power.
Go ahead. You can call it Power Fever if you want.
Power Fever is what I had about a month ago.
You powered through it, though.
Yeah, I powered over the toilet for hours that one Saturday night.
The Hyle Russell Power Hour.
Oh, it was more than an hour. Oh, God. All right. Ginger ale just tastes rancid coming back up.
Oh, that's the only soda I drink, so thank you for that. I'll think about that next time I go into a bottle of Canada Dry.
Oh, it was Canada Wet that night.
Yeah. Ain't no dry up in Canada that day.
Courtney has joined us in a live stream and says the Mill song from DKC3 is the only song in Mario Tennis Fever. And just Andre does the Christopher Walken SNL joke.
That one. Oh, okay. That's the only one I know.
Oh, you do a good Walken.
Oh, you know, I've heard Walken quite a bit over my years. I once did a song where I sang Rainbow Connection as Christopher Walken. It's terrible, but I did it.
Well, you know, Natalie Wood didn't have her throat slit, but it was still a tragic story. Anyway.
Okay.
The next talking point for 2026, looking at the year ahead, the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, the question though, Malik, is how much will we really discuss this movie here at DK Vine? Because, contrary to all of the rumors and scuttlebutt in preceding months, it is not called Super Mario World. Sorry, folks. They're skipping ahead 2 entire console generations. It is the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So I'm gonna guess you won't be talking about it at all.
I think there's a possibility. So let me explain. When Miyamoto was showing off this teaser trailer and then launched into the cast, we did another cast face emblem like rollout, but they were just returning characters that we learned about from the original The Super Mario Brothers movie. And notable by their absence was Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Mm-hmm. However, this does line up with our reporting going back to 2021 about Nintendo and Illumination's plans for both Mario and Donkey Kong. So we started talking about the Donkey Kong movie like over 4 years ago. And or maybe roughly 4 years ago. I don't want to say over. Maybe it wasn't over. I forget when it was 2021 we were talking about it in any case. But we had learned from our sources that the plan was for Donkey Kong to be in the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then for there to also be a Donkey Kong movie after that, and that the Super Mario Brothers movie would in fact kind of introduce kids and families and moviegoers to the DK brand, which had kind of fallen by the wayside in the greater cultural context. It would reintroduce them to Donkey Kong, to Cranky Kong, to the concept of Kongs, and then they would have the Donkey Kong movie, which would be a separate entity from the direct sequel. In this case, now we know, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And so I'm not surprised that they're not in it or they're not part of the main cast. They might have a cameo, like they might Zoom conference with the Kongs briefly, just to get them in there. There might be a post-credits or mid-credits scene on Donkey Kong Island to set up the Donkey Kong movie. But yeah, like I never really thought they would have a large role to play in the sequel, because all of our sources indicated that that wasn't the plan. The plan was to immediately steer into the Donkey Kong movie for those characters, for those actors. And it's bearing out that way. It's brothers bearing out that way.
Pretty nice. Yeah, I feel the same way, but now I kind of want to see Donkey Kong in a Zoom call. That would make me die a bit on the inside, but I'd also be laughing.
Yeah, on one hand, it's kind of a shame because I did enjoy the hype around the Super Mario Brothers movie. For as much as I dreaded it initially, once it was actually a thing and once we were actually reporting on it, and once it came out and all of the renewed interest in Donkey Kong that resulted from it, it was fun. And
yeah.
We don't need Donkey Kong in it now. Nintendo doesn't need Donkey Kong in it now. They've set it up, and Donkey Kong's riding high at the moment, and Bonanza and the theme park has really kept things going. So yeah, the Donkey Kong movie is going to be a huge, huge deal, and maybe we just need a break. Maybe with inflation and what have you, we don't need to go to the cinema to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I will probably still go opening day just, to do my diligence, but
Yeah, me too.
I will say I hope this screenplay is better, because even though I liked the Super Mario Brothers movie, it was an incredibly narrow context in which I gave it a good grade, because they sacrificed everything for Donkey Kong. They sacrificed the notion of it being a Super Mario Brothers movie for Donkey Kong. I mean, Luigi was kind of reduced to the third character, the third protagonist in the movie because of Donkey Kong. And that's great for us, because it really led to renewed popularity for Donkey Kong. I can see it in DK Vine's metrics from before and after the movie came out. But yeah, they really just did the concept of a Mario movie dirty, in my opinion, to build up Donkey Kong, which, hey, again, yeah, slit the Mario brand's throat for all I care. All hail Donkey Kong, now and forever. But the screenwriter in me was also a little irritated. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But the fan in you was like, yes, more.
Yeah,
more.
yeah. It really was a Gollum situation where I was like, on one hand, like looking over my shoulder, and I was like, oh, that they've completely ruined this 3-act structure. And then on the other hand, I was like, yes, my precious, more. Oh, Swanky Kong is in the Mario movie.
And now he's in the infirmary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope we catch up with him. I hope we have, like, the whole recovery scene. It's a montage, like a training montage from the 80s.
Yeah.
Just Andre says Professor Chops will be Jared Leto. Rosalina will be Melissa McCarthy. Chocolate Milk Drinker says Shaq as Chunky Kong.
Oh, God.
If Shaq is going to be anybody from the DKU, he's got to be Taj, because Shaq has played a rapping genie. And Taj doesn't rap, but I'm saying, we got to make it contemporary for the kids.
He's like, if he goes to Diddy and he's like, can I help you further? That's what he would sound like.
Or maybe
Shaq has no range.
Buck stereotypes and have Shaq be TT.
Wait, what's the stereotype then?
Well, that he's a rapping genie. I'm saying, like, instead, maybe Shaquille O'Neal could be an anthropomorphic stopwatch from Pirate Times.
Hi there, I'm TT.
Can I get a no, wrong way, a Shaquille O'Neal? Just...
No, wrong way.
Wow. It's like you've transported me to the theater.
And that was Shaq in the 90s. That I think of. You can only imagine how much better he's gotten at this acting thing.
Oh yeah, he's a master thespian. I've seen him in the General commercials. Oh, mwah.
Just feeling chill.
Anyway, as Martin Scorsese says in the memes, cinema.
Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
You
excited about the Galaxy? I don't have any natural affinity for Super Mario Galaxy.
I'm not excited for this.
No, I'm saying, Lo, like, when it was the Super Mario World rumor, I was like,
oh, the games. No, the movie. Yes, I'm excited for the game. Sorry, I thought we were moving on to Galaxy, the releases. Sorry.
I'm not talking about the game. Why would I talk about Galaxy the games?
That's why I laughed.
No, I'm saying, like, I don't have any great affinity for Galaxy. Like, that's not my era of Mario. I was completely detached from Nintendo during that time period. And yeah, it's just like, I'm happy for the fans of Galaxy. I kind of was hoping we'd progress and we'd get, like, World first, or maybe we go to Subcon. Yeah. But,
yeah.
I am still interested in what they do with it. I hope that, like, Luigi, I hope Charlie Day actually gets to do more as Luigi. And I hope they zoom Donkey Kong.
Yeah, me too. But I like Galaxy 1 and 2 a fair bit. And, I'm still not quite excited for this as I was for the first movie because, again, like you said, it's like I'm kind of sick of the Galaxy rep because everyone loves Galaxy so much. I get it, but I wanted to see Mario World would have had me like really excited, or like you said, Subcon or maybe Sunshine or something. But Galaxy, it's a nice safe bet, especially when we saw that Luma in the first movie. So I feel like this is a natural progression.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be happy to see it.
It is interesting though, all the nostalgia for Galaxy. It is interesting to see like the disparity between that and the Donkey Kong series from back then, because there's nobody suggesting that the Donkey Kong movie will be based off of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, you know?
What if it is? What if we all just get blindsided and it is Jungle Beat?
That first trailer, we just see on the horizon a big cobcock rise up and go.
Comes out this February.
It actually comes out a day before the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
For all the Cobcock Day people who have nothing to watch that February.
Comes out a day after Mario Tennis Fever.
That would be hilarious.
Again, no shade meant towards Jungle Beat. I've really come around on Jungle Beat, but it is just when we see everything that the DK series is re-embracing and what the brand identity of Donkey Kong is, you don't really see Jungle Beat in there all that much.
Yeah, I was a little sad when Bonanza didn't have many Jungle Beat references to grab onto. I was like, guys, you made this game 20 years ago. You won't want to throw yourselves a bone in there, like show, I don't know, one of the pigs or something on a photo in someone's house.
We did get a pig, but it was related to Professor Chops, so.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Oh, well, anyway, we might be talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie come next year, or maybe we won't, I don't know. Chocolate Milk Drinker does bring up a question, though. What game or games could the DK movie adapt? I mean, it's not going to be a one-to-one game. Just like they said in this direct, you're not going to get a direct adaptation of Galaxy. Galaxy is just going to be kind of like the starting point. It's going to be the backbone of the movie as far as setting and context goes, but it's going to be incorporating things from across the last 40 plus years of Mario. But with Donkey Kong, the backbone's going to be Donkey Kong Country, I'm sure. I mean, you're going to get maybe some references to the arcade. It's going to be Country and Country 2, maybe even some Country 3 in there, and some returns, and, but I think... Barrel Maze, yeah. Barrel Blast / Jet Race, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say the Rare era games, DK64 included, and Retro, and Bonanza will be the main reference points for the Donkey Kong movie.
Yeah.
Finally, Malik, and I mean, this direct was over an hour long. They talked about way more than this, but as far as DKU news goes, we're done. We're done right now. And I know people want to play the new Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, so I'm not going to keep everyone around here long. But this is my vanity time. This is my time to just gush about something that's near and dear to my heart and near and dear to my burned out retinas. So, I talk about things I never thought would happen. I thought we had past this point a possibility when the Nintendo 3DS came and went. I thought we had one shot at celebrating this legacy, and Nintendo decided, nope. And then, little rays of hope, the Nintendo Museum, Virtual Boy, heavily featured, prominent, both in the exhibitions and in the gift shop. And I would have never guessed that this would be how they would eventually resurrect the Virtual Boy brand. Virtual Boy games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack on February 17th, 2026. God, February is going to be busy.
I know. Usually February is just dead for like everything, but they're like, let's just do everything here.
Including our love lives. I'm joking, but like Valentine's Day used to be a day I dreaded because I was like, oh yeah, another day to remember I'm alone.
I look on the day and it's like, oh, thank God I'm alone. It's probably not at all flirty.
That is the healthy way of looking at it, Malik. But February 17th, Virtual Boy will be coming to Nintendo Classics if you have the Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack subscription. Now, this will be for both Switch 2 and original Switch. So for all of you who have not yet gotten your hands on a Switch 2, good news. You can blow $100 on this instead.
You know, when I saw the silhouette, I was like, oh no. I already knew it was the Virtual Boy. But I knew you were going to love it.
It was one of the only times there's ever been anything not DKU related on one of these Nintendo Directs that I've actually jumped up out of my seat and let out a little squeal of delight.
Aw.
Yeah, Virtual Boy. All 14 Virtual Boy games will be available over time. However, the only way to play them is by getting a Virtual Boy accessory. Now, you can either go all in and get the Virtual Boy visor replica for $99.99 USD. And what it is you pop open the Virtual Boy visor and you slide in your Nintendo Switch. And then you play the games through the Virtual Boy visor. Or if you're like, there's no way I'm going to spend $100 to play 14 niche games from the mid-90s, of which only about 3 are probably worth it. There's no way I'm going to do that. You can also get a cardboard replica, kind of like a Labo situation, but for the Virtual Boy. It's a cardboard replica of the Virtual Boy visor for $24.99.
That's a little better, I guess. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get the visor. I'm going to have to get the real thing, Malik.
Didn't the original Virtual Boy cost like $100 back in the day?
Inflation. That was 30 years ago, Malik.
Yeah, but you know, relative back then. What was the MSRP, if I'm using that correctly?
So I forget the actual original price when it came out. They dramatically slashed it a little over a year after its launch because it was dying and they had to clear inventory, and that's when I got it. But I got it because I had a dream, and I've talked about this before on the conversation. I had a very vivid, realistic dream that Rare announced a Virtual Boy game called Swanky's Roller Disco or Virtual Disco. And I woke up and I was like, I must get a Virtual Boy. And I had played the Virtual Boy before that. I had rented it from Blockbuster to show you how fucking old I am. But
I did that too. I rented stuff from Blockbuster, and I'm younger than you.
Okay. Yeah. So you just turned 30.
Yeah.
With your trick knee and everything. I'm sorry.
I've had the trick knee since I was I was gonna say 1 foot shorter than I am now. I've had it forever.
There is a character in Bonanza, very, very loose, light spoilers here, but there's a character in Bonanza, an NPC character who talked about feeling the weather in their knee, and I thought of you, Malik.
That's nice. I'll have to check who that character is again because I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. Just be sure to talk to all of the NPCs in the relevant layer.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll
Okay.
check again.
But yeah, like I had to get a Virtual Boy, and I really like was intrigued and charmed by the Virtual Boy. There was something very immersive and different about it, otherworldly, you might say. And yes, it was a flawed idea. It was a flawed concept, and like I'm sure this will just wreck my upper back trying to play it as an adult. It's one of those things where the fact that you couldn't just wear it on your head like a VR visor really just made it silly. Like you have to lean into this, and I really I don't see any indication they're going to change the ergonomic qualities of the Virtual Boy. But considering like VR headsets are just a common thing, an expensive thing, but a common thing in gaming now, like what are you doing, Nintendo? Like just let us have that. Like put a strap on it.
Yeah. What's wrong with you guys?
So, I mean, it is flawed, and I recognize its flaws, but I also think it just had so much untapped potential. The ability to completely cut you off from your surroundings and to just lose yourself in this surreal black and red world. And, like, it worked better for some games than other games. I would say Galactic Pinball is my go-to example for, like, complete immersion when it comes to video games. On the Virtual Boy, and Wario Land Virtual Boy also works because, you know, it's interior, it's underground, it makes you feel like you are just completely cut off from the surface. Donkey Kong Bonanza, as a just general conceit, would work well in the Virtual Boy aesthetic, but then you would have like games like Virtual Boy Golf, and it's just like, this looks dumb. What are we doing here? But yeah,
For
like
sure.
one of my greatest laments as a longtime fan is that Rare never got the Donkey Kong game off the ground before the Virtual Boy went little
In the ground.
Yeah, before the Virtual Boy went little kickstand up. It just we know like Paul Makachek fiddled around with the Virtual Boy and was like working on like some sort of like Donkey Kong Land type game on it, but it was just really more of a demo to see what they could do with it. They quickly lost interest when it was clear that the like market wasn't there for it. But I still maintain that it is a missing core component of the DKU library, of that lineage. The fact that we never got a Virtual Boy game. The closest we got was Donkey Kong Jr. being a character in Mario's Tennis.
Yeah. That doesn't really count, but that's the closest we got.
Yeah, and that was like the era where you still had that weird split between arcade DK94 Donkey Kong and Rare's Donkey Kong. It wasn't until Mario Kart 64 that you started to see Rare's Donkey Kong incorporated in non-Rare games, and then it wasn't until the buyout completely that they finally retired the designs of those characters from DK94 and effectively retired DK Jr. as a entity, as he was. But yeah, like, I love the Virtual Boy. I have a lot of unabashed, unashamed affinity for it. And one of my things is I hate historical revisionism. And I hate when entities try to bury something out of embarrassment or this sense of pride. Like, obviously, like, you want to like apologize for and bury shameful things. Like,
Yes, of course.
oh, we had several episodes where characters were in blackface. We probably shouldn't have done that.
Nintendo, the Virtual Boy is nowhere close to that.
I was gonna say Jinx in Pokemon, but you know.
Yeah.
But the Virtual Boy, it was just one of Nintendo's few financial disasters of that era. And I think after the Wii U, it was just like, all right, well, why are you so ashamed of the Virtual Boy now, Nintendo?
Yeah, this is an actual failure on your hands.
So to see this just reclamation of Nintendo history, especially Nintendo history that was such a huge part of my childhood, because I can remember, Malik, before the Virtual Boy came out, we thought this was the future. Not necessarily like the Virtual Boy was going to be what Nintendo was centered around, but it was going to be another pillar of Nintendo going forward. We'd have the Nintendo Ultra 64, we would have the Game Boy platform, and we would have the Virtual Boy as this new third tier of how you can enjoy Nintendo franchises. And I mean, they tried to market the DS the same way when it came out, even though that was just the replacement for the GBA, effectively.
Yeah.
It didn't pan out. And I remember, like 95, I remember 30 years ago, heading into Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest release and thinking, wow, we're going to get the second Donkey Kong Country game, and that's probably going to be followed by a Donkey Kong Land 2, and that's probably going to be followed by a Donkey Kong Country 3, and probably followed by a Donkey Kong Land 3, and then it will be Donkey Kong for the N64, Donkey Kong World, and then that will be followed by Donkey Kong VB.
Well, 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty on the ball. I didn't see Mario Kart 64 incorporating the Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Diddy Kong Racing coming.
Yeah. Still, you got it. You were eating pretty good back then.
So yeah, it's always one of the great regrets of my fandom, because so much of my early fandom of the DKU had the Virtual Boy in the peripheral, which is really weird because if you look in your peripheral when you're playing a Virtual Boy, you can't see the game. So to see them bring back the Virtual Boy, and look, this is a very niche thing. I think they'll get a lot of sales just based on morbid curiosity and collectors getting in on this. But I think they're justifying putting these 14 games on the service because they know they're going to get suckers like me spending $100 on this damn visor. Yeah. And I'm going to. I'm going to.
And the best part is they can take it away when the service goes down. No VB Classic for anybody. You just have the plastic visor as a reminder of getting suckered. But enjoy it while it lasts.
In the live stream, responding to our Virtual Boy chat, Gigastrike 2 says Nintendo beamed fake ads into your brain as you slept. LOL. No, I think it's more along the lines of Lee Loveday is some sort of incubus. He would the sleep paralysis demon who would enter my bedroom at night and put weird notions into my head. And the joke's on him. Once he started that letter column, he couldn't get rid of me. But, yeah. No, I would have dreams. I would have vivid dreams of Diddy Kong racing in a go-kart and then eventually, I thought that meant Diddy Kong was going to be in the sequel to Mario Kart, and he kind of was. Mario Kart 64, and he kind of was. But then we got Diddy Kong Racing. I remember Sir Blobsworth dreaming about Donkey Kong Country 3, dreaming about exploring these underground caves with his purple blob on your back. And hey, years later, we got Otterock.
Mm-hmm.
So Courtney says, put a strap on. Just Andre says, seriously, please do a Kongversation mini when the Switch 2 Virtual Boy games and accessory come out. I can't get enough of this. Just a banana in my pocket comes in with some pertinent information. It was designed to be wearable, but they pivoted to the stationary setup to meet Japanese product standards. Well, surely they've changed since then, right?
Nintendo never changes. You know that.
They have changed. That's my whole point. This is not our Nintendo of our childhood. This isn't your daddy's Nintendo anymore. This is this bold new era of Nintendo where they are celebrating their history. They're celebrating the Virtual Boy. They're celebrating Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong 64, they are bringing back locations and characters that had fallen by the wayside. They are reveling in all of these things that I had spent the better part of the aughts and 2010s arguing in defense of. And now they are just abundant. It is just wild to be living right now when we are. Like, if I could take what's happening in Nintendo and the DKU now and just plug it in 10 years ago, that would probably be preferable. But, you know, again, for being such a stressful, strifeful time, at least we have this beautiful distraction.
Just a banana in my pocket says Waterworld can't be played on the Virtual Boy.
They yeah, well, you know, I think that $100, you're not just buying the plastic shell, as you call it. You're casting a vote with your money for more recognition for the Virtual Boy. It's not just I can't wait to play these games. It's I can't wait to show Nintendo to invest the R&D into the Super Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy U. The Virtual Boy 2.
The Super Virtual Boy. Wait, you already said that.
Yeah. Virtual Boy Advance. Virtual Boy, the 3D Virtual Boy wouldn't really work, would it? Because it's already 3D.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we'll probably talk about this next year on the Kongversation. We'll probably do some sort of Virtual Boy episode again. I was thinking about doing it for the 30th anniversary this year, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza happened. I was like, well, we're not doing it. But this gives me an excuse to talk about the Virtual Boy again. I'm like Professor Chops in a big old shit pile, and Professor Chops in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
He seems like he would wallow in mud at the very least. He seems clean.
I mean, yeah, pigs can be very clean, but at the same time, you know, we all like to get dirty every now and then.
Speak for yourself.
Well, then please do not spy on me come Valentine's night.
No, I'll probably slit your throat if I catch you in on something I don't like.
I lock my door, Malik.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.